Today's memory verse tells us that anyone who is a sheep in God's pasture should hear his voice frequently. When you hear from God, He will guide you in all your ways. Years ago, during a meeting, some ministers of God had a disagreement on who to vote for between the two major presidential candidates in Nigeria. I was also in the meeting, and I said, "Brethren, has God told you that either of them will be president? Did He tell you if there will even be an election, and if the result will be allowed to stand? Has He told you which of the two He wants?" I told them, "As for me, He hasn't told me yet. I've been asking Him who will be president, but He hasn't answered, which means I have probably been asking the wrong question. I'm going to change my question to, will there be an election, and will the result be accepted?" Shortly after that meeting, we were having a pastors' conference in RCCG, and I told those present that God finally answered me concerning the elections. He said that one of the candidates would win, but would not be allowed to rule. And this was exactly what happened. Asking God about situations and waiting on Him to speak will help a Christian to live above confusion. One morning, I asked God which route to take to work to avoid being held up in traffic. He said, "You are not leaving the house today." I began to quote the Bible to the one who wrote it. "Lord, you said that he who will not work should not eat. Your word also says, 'Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings and not mean men.'" He insisted, so I said, "Okay. If they fire me, I'm sure you will provide another job." At that time, I had not listened to the radio, so I didn't know that a military coup had happened. A short while later, there was chaos in a school in front of my house as parents rushed to pick up their children. That was when I put on my radio and heard what had happened. God's voice shielded me from the pandemonium that broke out on the streets. Beloved, train your spirit to hear God's voice by spending time in His presence, studying His word, worshiping, and waiting on Him. His voice will instruct you in the way you should go and protect you from evil.